Welcome back. Talking a little bit about not how to get the most of your content, but yeah, actually, kind of how to get the most of it out of your content, right? So, we're talking a little bit about if the social media post falls in a forest, does anybody really know that you posted it? And that's kind of the name of the game, right? Everyone's creating content, everyone's busting their butts, putting stuff out there, and is it doing any work for you at all? Like, is it actually worth the time that you are spending creating all of this content? And the only way that you're really going to know this, by the way, is if you're tracking things, and that can be a lot of work. I'll just throw that out there. You know, on Instagram, you have to go into Instagram Insights for stories. You have to look up like metrics on this thing for posts or videos. You have to look up on metrics on this thing. And there's no way to, by the way, pull that out of Instagram's API. They block that, or at least they block the things that really matter, which is super fun of them, by the way. Almost like they know it's not that effective. Just throwing that out there. But anyway, so that's a kind of a problem, right? And then beyond that, the question is, are they making it easy for you to find the information that gets people off of their platforms? They're probably not. So, all that to say, tracking what's working in your business, it's not easy. But, and here's the big caveat, right? If you're going to spend all this time creating content, especially if you're putting actual strategy behind it, you're not just spraying and praying and, posting something like, oh crap, I haven't posted in 17 days. I should probably throw a cute quote up, right? If that's like not, if that's you, you're probably not watching this video anyway. But if you're not spraying and praying and you actually have put some, like legit strategy behind what you're doing, if you have something to say, if you're on a mission, if you really truly want to help people, you're probably putting some strategy into your actual content creation. Which means you're probably spending several hours a week creating content for the purpose of educating and for the purpose of marketing. And if you're doing that, why not add an extra 15 minutes a week into measuring that content? Now, it'll take 15 minutes if you have a good system set up. If you don't have a good system and you don't really know what you're doing, the first few times, it'll probably take longer. But if you are measuring what you are doing, then you will know when you make a social media post or a blog post or a YouTube video or a podcast episode, right? You will know which kinds of those contents are being effective. And you will know, therefore, when to put more effort into that. And I was just on a marketing roundtable, like a customer research roundtable hosted by Melissa Harstein, and it was fantastic. It was a bunch of people talking about like really how to get into the nitty gritty of what our clients really want. And one of the participants said, well, what do you do when you don't know what your clients want? What do you do when they don't even know what they want? Is actually really what she said. And, my comment there was just kind of off the cuff. And I said, well, you got to, go a step beyond what they're asking. You got to kind of make the question mean. And then I explained, right? So your audience is asking you questions. Your audience is. They may not be asking you their real questions because they're too polite. So personal example, my audience would generally be too polite to say, yeah, well, how do I know that content creation is even worth it? They're not going to say that to a content strategist. But when they say other things like, well, which posts really are the ones that are, getting me results? Which posts really do bring me clients and leads? When they say things like that, I know what they actually mean is how can I make my content creation time more efficient by focusing on the posts that do generate leads or do create clients, right? So I always look at the questions people are asking and I take it a step further. I say, if they were willing to be mean to my face, what would they actually be asking, right? If they're willing to be really blunt and pointed and harsh. Or I look for the gaps in between the questions, right? So those are the things that you want to be answering in your content. When you have the ability to actually address those like anxieties and hurdles before your people even have a chance to voice them, they look at you at like you're a freaking genius, right? So once you are putting out strategic content like that, if you don't know how to do that, I highly recommend checking out my series on the old, new, borrowed, and blue, different kinds of content methods. It's really helpful. But once you're addressing those things in a well-balanced, on-brand kind of way, really all you have to do is be measuring your content. And if you want to take the headache out of measuring your content, if adding in, a few minutes a day or, a solid chunk of time each week or month is just something you know you're never going to get around to because let's be honest, we're all wearing a lot of hats. I get it. Then I'm going to recommend that you go ahead and reach out. I'm going to put a link down there at the bottom, BrittanyGardner.com/visibility. That is going to take you to a sales page for my visibility accelerator. And it's going to talk about a fully done for you content strategy plus content measurement dashboard. You can also hire me for just the content measurement dashboard. You don't have to get the whole done for you content strategy and plan with it anymore. But if you know that you need help in this area, if you're not measuring the results of all that stuff you're putting out right now, all that stuff you're pouring time into already, then you're probably just throwing spaghetti against a wall. And yeah, you're going to have some spaghetti that sticks, but you're also going to have spaghetti that like slides down and makes a mess on the floor. And I don't want a messy business for you. I'm just throwing it out there. So if you know you need help on the measurement side so you can make your content creation time more effective and productive, I highly recommend reaching out to me. If you have any other questions, please hit me up. Email is up there in the top left side of the corner. Say hi at BrittanyGardner.com. And I'd love to help you out with this.